What time is it? 2? Awesome. 11:02. We're going to start this. We know how realtors are. We're fashionably late for everything, but that's why we love you guys. Awesome. So exciting. Tell me something new. All these space on here. What's new? What's new? I want to hear something. I mean, we had a great week in Texas at Build. For those who got to go, it was a kickoff. Build 2023 was amazing. Got to see everybody. Got to see Cindy Griffey. Got to see a lot of these people, these faces there. It was awesome. Johnny, that was your first time Build, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us something.
Awesome.
Tell us something you like about it.
One, I just, I enjoyed hearing the stories from different individuals and different backgrounds and how they, came up, through EFT, and each one had something different to share, that added value on how you can approach your business and how, their business took all things grew to where it did. Just the energy in itself in the room, just motivates you and, gets you where that mindset of where you're turning those wheels and you're ready to get back and, implement things in your own business. So, it was definitely, a must-see event.
Awesome. I like it. We're excited to see next year for those who can make it. And those who didn't, October 10th through 12th, Las Vegas is EXP Cons. Hope to see everybody there at EXP Con in Vegas, October 10th through 12th. That's awesome. Get on the calendar. Want to get everybody there as well. The events are important, super important. People that understand how important those events are. When you show up, that energy, that collaboration, that ability to connect with all these people that we bring on these calls are there in person. You get to sit down, have coffee, have lunch, and they will share everything with you, openly share everything with you. That collaboration you can't get anywhere. It is amazing energy. So the events are important. Everybody always asks me, should I go? Absolutely, without a doubt, unequivocally, 100%. You need to go to these events. So make it a point if you can. I know maybe at this point, maybe it's not easy to make all of them, but try to make maybe one of them for the year. So I'm glad you made it. Thanks, Ronnie. What's up, Ronnie Margolis? What's going on? Jeffrey Smith, Jennifer McCullen. How you doing, my dear? Got to do that wave. Got to do that wave and high. All right, got to do it. I love it, girl. Who's new on here, by the way? Somebody new. As Anne Frank. Are you new? I don't think I've ever met you before, Anne. I don't want to call you out, but I think she might be new here. Who else is new on here? Got some new people here. Kendra Pittman. Kendra, there we go. Say hi. Feel free. I don't want to put you on the spot, but
that's okay. Hello, I'm new. I'm Kendra.
Nice,
I'm on
Kendra.
Johnny's team. I just joined Johnny's team about a week ago, so I'm brand new.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Johnny.
Thank you.
Very, very excited. Very excited to see you.
Thank you.
She's going to do a lot of good things.
I love it. Well, welcome to the EXP family and Team Freedom. We're excited to have you. Who else might be new on here that we haven't seen? What's up, Blake Smith? Let's see who we got here. Tarshim, Mara. I like it. Justice. Cindy Segna. How you doing? Good to see you. Something else new? Tell me something new. Something exciting, you guys. Somebody got in contract. Go ahead.
I made Icon. I did it.
Yes, good job. Every time she's
Pretty
like,
exciting.
I'm 2 days away. I'm 3 days away. You got it. You got it. Congratulations. That's amazing. That is a rock. Good job. Congratulations. We're going to put you on Front Street now because I love what you're doing. Welcome. Who else? Something good. That's actually really good news. What do you got, Shireen? You want to say something? I can see it. Say it. You want to say it? Say it.
No, I'm just good. I'm happy. Build was amazing. It's great to see the group here. And I was so proud of Dylan's, like so much of his team showing up. And I don't know, it was a long way to go from here. So the people that went, I know that was difficult. And I just want to say, wow. And that's amazing.
Exactly. Hats off. We know that travel is not easy, but you guys did it. So everybody that showed up there, the important part, like I said in the meeting, you bought a ticket, you showed up, you were 100% in, you bought into the situation. Build is amazing for you to see what EXP is really all about. Like truly the powerful tool, the golden ticket that you have available to you, which the person that's speaking today, my God, holy grail right here. We're talking Veronica Figueroa, but she'll be the first testament to let you guys know how amazing the opportunity is with EXP and what she's done. But we'll get into that in a minute. But I want to leave that one on the hot burner minute. Veronica, we're so grateful you're here today, by the way. I love this lady. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So real quick, we have, what's up, Jeffrey Smith? We haven't started any videos on Facebook and on the Google Classroom. I posted something we're starting new every Friday called Tech Talk because everybody's been asking, how do I do this? How do I do that? Where should I spend my money? What's the best use? What's the best time? how do I do this? How do I turn my TV on? How do I work my microwave? All that good stuff. We all don't know. And we're grateful we have people like Eric Madison on here. That is his wheelhouse. So Eric, real quick, jump on here, kind of give us a little Cliff Note version of what every Friday TED Talk's going to look like and what everybody is going to be required to do to get on that program every Friday. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought it'd be cool to kind of, I got 30 years of tech behind me, kind of bring technology down to earth for everyone. We'll talk about the cool things like AI, social media, click funnels, all that kind of stuff. But I also want to talk about the stuff you already have, and let's maximize KV Core, or kind of jump in and figure out how to use that. Apply SEO to your KV Core. You can set up a version of a click funnel straight out of KV Core. So do that kind of stuff, just the stuff you already have, build process around what you have, and just kind of bring it all together. And the requirement is I want to get input from people. So I don't just want to work in a vacuum and present things I think is cool. I want to know what you guys are interested in. I know AI is a hot topic. I'd love to bring kind of cool ways you can leverage that to save time, to help you in your marketing, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we put out a survey. I would love it if everyone would fill that out to kind of get an idea of kind of where you are right now with your marketing, with your CRM, and your level of understanding. And we'll take it from there. Just kind of have fun with it.
Awesome. We're excited. This is a great addition and value add to you guys, the team. Thank you for taking the time for doing that, Eric. Again, this is something additional above and beyond for you. So that's very grateful or appreciative of that. So yes, if you guys have the Team Freedom Facebook page, if you're not on that, let me know. I want to put you on that. The Google Classroom, if you're not in there yet, let me know and put you on that. Both those links for that is in there. Click on it. It's in the comments. Open it up. It's literally 4 or 5 questions. Click some bubbles. Answer yes or no. Put in there what you want. Submit it. It will go to Eric. We need you guys' input. Again, it's really hard to throw these classes out just kind of randomly about, oh, let's talk about this. Everybody always has something they want to work on or talk about. So please don't be shy. Go in there and ask. All right. So put it in there. And Eric, you just posted it in the chat box. So it made it even more easier. I was kind of make it where they had to go onto the Team Freedom Facebook page, but we'll make it easier for you guys for once. Yeah. But yeah. I want people to get on the Team Freedom Facebook page, because every time I get people asking me questions, they're like, oh, it's on their Freedom page. It's in their Google Classroom. It's there. I post stuff there every day, 2 or 3 times a day. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Eric, for doing that. Also, book of the month, you guys. We have it. Grant Cardone. Be Obsessed or Be Average. How many of you guys have gotten that book? Just curious. Show of hands. Awesome. How many people are reading it? Every day. 10 minutes. Like you're on your phone scrolling through Facebook for 10 minutes. How many of us are reading the book for 10 minutes? I've been doing it every day religiously since January 1 of this year. I made it part of my deal, part of my affirmations and my visualization, the reading part. So I love it. This is amazing. The Grant Cardone book is blowing my mind. So being obsessed. And I believe, truly, being obsessed is very controversial, depending on who you're talking to. Some people are all about it, and some people think it's crazy. I believe it's dependent on where you're at in life and where you want to go. At some level, I think you need to be obsessed with something in your life, because sometimes you're obsessed about being lazy. You're obsessed about not showing up. You're obsessed about being fear. I think there's an obsession in every one of us. Is there obsession, though, in a positive manner? That's what I want to find out. That book is amazing. So please jump in that book, get it. The link's on there too to order to Amazon. We'd love for you guys to plug in. Awesome. Anybody else want to share anything before we move on to our amazing guest speaker for the day? Feel free, jump in. Don't be shy.
I just wanted to say it was great to see everybody in, where were we? San Antonio.
San Antonio, yeah.
Yes, where you got out of the restaurant and you walked directly into a sauna. It was quite lovely.
Lovely.
No, I just, some of the presentations were amazing, and I like the Fanatical Prospecting book by Jeb Blount. If you haven't read it, it'll get you pumped up. It's getting me pumped up. I've been listening to it since the guy spoke, I think the last day of the conference. And one of the first presentations was Mike Sherrard, who does the YouTube stuff. But if you download the slides, which you can at buildevent23.com, he's got one slide, well, 3 slides. One that will show you kind of all the videos you need to make on YouTube for the next 3 years. 2, how to put a prompt into ChatGPT to get it to write the video outline for you. And 3, how to put it into Opus Clip and make all sorts of clips from it. So if you want to get some inspiration on that social media tip, download the slides from day one and check out Mike's slides. They're pretty amazing.
I love it.
That's what I wanted to say.
Jeb Blunt was amazing. For those who have not read the book, Fanatical Prospecting, another book you should probably get and read. It's a great read. What I loved about Jeb, what he brought out, was going back to basics. I know there's a lot of things that are available to us, like the Mike Sherrard opportunities, the funnel click systems, all this SEO stuff. But truly, he went back to doing the consistency of scripts, and he talked about literally doing open houses. Things are basic things that work. Going back to doing consistent habits in your business right now, back to basics. Things that don't cost any money at all, zero cost, just your time. Like there's zero excuses of why people cannot make money today in real estate, other than the fact they just don't want to go to work. So I love what Jeb brought out. Great points about getting back to the basics and doing things that are most important that I think, honestly, most people overlook. Which, great segue, every Monday, we have Dialogue by Design, 8, 11, and 2 every Monday, scripts class. So we have it here for all you guys available. A couple of you guys have shown up, but it's there every week. So just great to plug into that as well. Awesome. All right. Anything else before we move on? All right. We are excited to have this amazing guest, and I can't even honestly talk about all the accolades and awards, Veronica, you have. I mean, literally, it's a page of just awards after awards after awards of production and things you've done for coaching, training, motivating people. I mean, I feel like every time you step up, there's something that you do that's just amazing. So I honestly, I can't even say all of it, but I mean, just this person did over 1,000 deals in her team in 2021. I mean, that kind of like level we're talking about. But she's been mentioned in Zillow. She's been mentioned as the, Realtor of the Year. So all these things were great to have her. She's at EXP as well. And if you go to these events like Build, EXP Con, shareholders, you can run into her in the elevator. You can run into her and have coffee. You can run into her and have lunch. And Veronica will share everything with you because she's that kind of person. So Veronica, thank you for taking your time today. We're blessed to have you. Just love to hear your story. When you're on stage at Build and EXP Con and Shareholders, you're always putting on an amazing story of who you are, your journey, where you've at, and how you've taken EXP from where you were at and turning EXP into this major opportunity as well. So thank you again. We're excited to have you. The floor is yours, my dear. Take it away.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I love the energy. What a special group. I have to echo what Ronnie said about the value that Mike dropped, Mike Sherrard, and of course, love the recommendations on the books. For those of you who are at Build, I'm still coming off of a high, right? It was just so powerful, just so much value. And I think that's what makes our company so special, is that we get to learn from each other. We get to be inspired by each other. And then we get to go run and build careers worth having and impact the lives of the people that we care about, whether it's our partners or our agents, our families. I'm so excited. So still coming off of the Build high. And right after Build, I went straight to San Diego for a mastermind with the top teams across the country, which included solo agents, teams who ranked in the top 50 in units and also volume. So it was really intimate and it was really special to hear what everyone is doing. Ultimately, production matters, right? We want to figure out how we can be more productive for our agents. For those of you who are out of production and are leading a team, the conversations were super high level. And again, it comes back to how do we keep our team inspired? How do we, what do we invest in to make sure that they have resources and the best support so that they could go out there and build really great real estate careers? And then those of you, those who are in production, again, how do they increase profitability? How do they make sure that they're not wasting money on things that aren't, resources? And I have the notes and I have the link of some of the notes that were discussed. And I don't know if I'm allowed to share it, but I'll ask for forgiveness rather than permission. So I'll make sure that, Chris, I get you the notes on what was shared in the top 50 mastermind, not only from Miami, but the San Diego one. The Miami one was right before Build, and we went to Build, and then there was a San Diego one. And I will say both had tremendous value because they're going around doing a road show. The next one is in Austin, Texas. And what's really cool, it's led by agents. So Michael Valdez and Leo Pareja are the corporate leaders who are, hopping on a plane, going, from coast to coast and throughout the nation to rub elbows with the best teams and to hear what they are, you know, what they're doing to win, what they might need, and diving deep into what, you know, these top agents are doing and experiencing and the conversations that they're having. And what's really cool is that it's co-hosted by agents just like you guys. It's co-hosted by us, the agents. So the conversations were really, really great. So that's my gift to you guys. I'll share with you guys a link so that you can go through it, read up on it, and just maybe gain some inspiration on what's working on these, you know, let's say on the team level, and also these top agents who are just crushing it to rank out of 88,000 agents in the top 50. It's pretty impressive. So, you know, Chris wanted me to come on here and share my story. I don't know how much of my story is relevant to you guys, but I'll just kind of just give you guys a little bit of backstory to who I am and how I got started in real estate, and what we're doing today in our world to win at a high level, and where we're also getting our teeth kicked in. Because I think it's important to share some of the areas in our business that we're not winning. A lot of people give us, you know, so much credit, and we love the support. Yes, over the last 2 years, we've actually sold, over the last 2.5 years, a little over 3,500 homes. That came with a lot of pressure. That is a lot of pressure through the pipes. And I said this on stage, and I'll say it again. It was my mission 3 to 4 years ago to become one of the best operators in the country, and to just build systems and processes and efficiencies. And to all my ladies out there, I did this for us. There's still such an underrepresentation of women in leadership and women winning at a high level that are leading teams. And I'm not anti-men. I have some of the best men who are part of my leadership team, but I just felt like this one was for us, ladies. I just looked around and I was like, you know, what if I could just do something really, really big? And I knocked on some really big doors, and I said, we are the team that can help you scale. We have efficiencies. We are smart. We are built for this. We are built for success, to make sure our partners are successful. And this was not our downline, guys. This was just our small production team. Our small production team, we went after some really big accounts, and I hired a data scientist, and I hired some really, really smart people. And I said, what if we do something that no one else has done? What if we did something that no one else has done? And here we are today. And it has been an amazing journey, an amazing ride. I don't know if we'll sell that many homes again, but we did it. We did it for 2.5 years, and it's something I'm proud of. Now my mission is to help other people have, you know, systems in place, processes in place, and show them how to scale and how to recruit talent at a high level for production teams, because I do believe in the production team. I'm a team leader at heart. Before I came to EXP, I was a team leader, and I'll share a little bit about that in a second, but I am passionate about all things production. So, thank you, Chris, again, for giving us this opportunity to share our world with you. Real estate agent since 2001, right out of college. Only got my real estate license because a buddy asked me to take the class with him, because he felt that he just needed a companion to go into the class. And I had just graduated from college, and he was like, maybe you can help me study. I was like, dude, I don't want to be a real estate agent. I have a passion for human resources. That was my dream career. I wanted to be, you know, a director of human resources or a VP of human resources. I've been working in human resources for a little bit for the hospitality industry. I was all things hospitality. And I figured I can help place people in their jobs, and I can love on them. I can build culture. I can recognize the employees. I can help place them. I can give them a career path. And that was my passion. That was what I wanted to do for a living in the hospitality industry. And I worked for a really great, beautiful resort in the heart of Puerto Rico. Was a gem in the Caribbean. You guys may have heard that many of the EXP top dogs live in Puerto Rico. And it's interesting. It's kind of like serendipitous that I worked at that resort where a lot of them play golf at now. El Conquistador, my husband, now plays golf there too whenever we're in town, and we own a property out there that's beautiful. But I worked in the basement in that hotel. It is a beautiful resort. I started off in the PBX room. If you don't know what a PBX, for all you young folks, PBX, I was an operator in the basement 25 years ago in that beautiful resort. And I made it a mission to get myself out of that basement. There were great employees, people that I loved working with, but these people were stuck. They were stuck and they believed that they had no way out of that basement and that they would be operators for the rest of their life. And I said, I'm out of here. I'm good for 6 months and I'm moving my way up to the next floor. And that's kind of how my mindset is and has always been. So what I did was these women had a story and they were great, but everybody only knew their voice. They didn't know their faces. They didn't know their stories. So I started writing I started doing a newspaper on my compact computer. I taught myself how to type really, really fast. I taught myself how to do graphics back in the, like late 90s. And I said, what if I could tell their story for them? And I would interview them and I would learn about their families and about how long they've been working at the company. And that's when I discovered my love for people and telling people's story. Then I moved up. It got the attention of the human resources manager. They wanted me to start telling stories of other departments. And I haven't told this story in a long, long time. So I'm really going deep, but I think it's part of the journey. And I was committed to just telling people stories and learning more about people. And that got me in front of the HR director, in front of the general manager, where they had 2,000 plus employees. And it got me in front of them. And they were like, who's this girl? And then they said, what can we do to help you in your career? I said, I just want to get out of the basement. From there, I went to front desk, and front desk was, this was a place where Mariah Carey would stay, Michael Jordan would stay, Whitney Houston would stay, the caliber of artists and the prince of many different countries would stay. So it was a real big thing to move to the front of the house. It was a prestigious thing, but I wanted to work with the employees. And then from there, my next path was like, I want to get into human resources. I want to be a person that places people and recognizes them. So that's where my passion for human resources came. Little did I know that all that training and preparation would help me in my career today at EXP and what I do and how I edify people and how I am able to tell people stories and how I'm able to understand what makes people tick. But let's just say I was loved by a lot of people and everybody wanted to be in my news article. Everybody wanted to have a story written about them. Life happens. I moved to Florida and my husband got a relocation at the time and we ended up in Florida, in Orlando, Florida. And I was presented with the opportunity to get my real estate license, but my passion was still human resources. But because I hadn't landed a career job that was aligned with it, I said, what's one more credential? My friend never passed this exam. I did, and I became a real estate agent. And at the time, it was 9/11, the day after I got my real estate license. I was devastated. I didn't know what was going to happen. And honestly, real estate was not my passion at the time. So I was like, oh, I'll just hang it up. Who's going to buy real estate right now? I don't know what's going to happen next in our economy. So that was that. So I hung up my real estate license. I did a little bit of timeshare with it. I absolutely hated timeshare. It was definitely not aligned with me. And I got a job in human resources. Did that for 4.5 years. Loved it. Learned so much. I was everything from an HR generalist to benefits, et cetera, et cetera. And then I got a divorce. And when I was going through my divorce, I had to figure out a way to supplement my income. I had to figure out, how do I do this? How do I supplement my income and still provide a lifestyle to my children without sacrificing the life that I want to give them? And real estate was the answer. I started doing real estate part-time. And in 3 short months, I had a significant amount of closings. And I think I remember one month I made like $17,000. And I said, I'm rich. I am like quitting my job. I called my mom and she says, are you crazy? I was like, Mom, what if I dedicated all my time to real estate? What if I just went all in? And it's aligned. It's with people. I love people. I love helping people. And I could just apply the skill sets that I learned in human resources and my passion to real estate, and I can help families. And she says, if you come from a Puerto Rican family, my mom's like, what, are you crazy? What about your paycheck? What about, insurance? What about the kids? What about, the safety? And I said, I can always fall back on my career. I'm ready to do this. I'm going all in. That was March of 2005. And I've never looked back ever since. So I just wanted to give you guys a little backstory on why I was so passionate about who I am and what I do. And it was a necessity. It was a divorce that caused me to get into real estate. So if you've ever been a person that you're going through financial hardships, you're going through a divorce, you're having to start all over, I want to give you the hope that it is possible if you really know why you're doing this. And I looked at my family and I fell in love. I got a taste of real estate and I said, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I am going to help people for the rest of my life. And I am not going to have a corporate entity tell me that my worth is maxed out at 50,000, 60,000. I'm going to go out there and write my own destiny. I'm going to serve as many families as possible. I'm going to dominate. I'm going to learn. And then the market crashed. And then deals just stopped coming out, from the sky, like we have had over the last 3 years, right? Wouldn't you agree the last 3 years, great. Interest rates were good. It's like the real estate stars aligned. Great interest rates, things are moving, things are popping, EXP stock is going crazy. Like everything was aligned in our favor. Just like it was in 2005 when real estate was great. Anybody could get a loan. If you had blood running through your veins, right? You would be the waitress and you could say that you made $100,000 and qualify for a loan. If you remember those days. And then the market crashed. So then I had to figure out, I had to eat what I call the shit sandwich. I had to figure out, how am I going to make this work when I just sat there and declared that this was going to be the career that I'm going to do no matter what? So I became a short sale queen. I became a short sale expert. I learned how to do short sales. I knew every bank incentive. I knew what banks were closing deals in less than 60 days, 90 days. That was a win. I was like, I had so many short sales in the pipeline. I had to figure out how to borrow money from Paul. I had to borrow money from everybody who could let me borrow money to do repairs, to extend, closings, to make things happen. I was willing to do whatever it took. And then I said, short sales take too long. What do I do next? Oh, REOs? Who's doing REOs? I saw that there were experienced agents in my market. And I said, how do I become one of them? So on my armoire, I took a picture of the top 3 agents who were dominating in REOs in my market. And I placed them in front of me. And then I took a picture of myself and I put it right smack in the middle, right next to them. I said, I'm going to be the next REO agent in my market. I'm going to dominate in my market. I'm going to have the REOs. And I was told it's too hard to break in and you've got to be a legacy agent to break into it. And I said, well, they better move over because I'm hungry. I got 5 kids. I got to feed these kids. They're expensive and I don't want to eat ramen noodles anymore. And I need to make sure that if there's any app availability of any REO account that they give it to me. So I took my last $5,000 and I hopped on a plane and I went to 5-star where asset managers hang around. See, a lot of times you guys want business, but you're not going where the business is at. You want the business, but you're not willing to get in the rooms where the business is circulating because you're so nervous about being rejected, or you're so nervous about it not working out, or you're so nervous of, getting a no, or like saying, oh, I don't fit in here. I was like, I am hungry. I'm on a budget and I'm broke. And I got 5 kids. That was enough reason for me to say, I need to be in that room. Well, my husband looked at me at the time. I got remarried and he's my partner. And he looked at me, he says, you're going to bankrupt our family. And I said, babe, you got to trust me on this one. He says, I don't. I'm just letting you know, we might have to make some choices when you come back. I said, I'm taking our last $5,000 and I'm going to wine and dine these asset managers and I'm going to come back with an account. And he says, just know if this doesn't work, I don't know what's going to happen next. I came back with 37 assets in my inbox on that Monday. The only thing is that I really didn't manifest exactly where it was going to be at. And I ended up getting them throughout the entire state of Florida. So I was forced to open teams all over the state of Florida in a matter of 72 hours. Miami MLSs, Tampa MLSs of places I didn't even know existed, places I didn't even know I could pronunciate in Florida. There's some backwoods stuff here in Florida, guys. It is brutal, but I believed enough. And I said, I'm going to do this. And if you had blood running through your veins and you could hold a camera, you were doing an occupancy check for me and I was sending you money and I was paying you and I was using your mailbox as a satellite office and I was figuring it out because I needed it to work. And a lot of times people say, oh, I want to be the first to do this, or I'm going to get at the ground floor of this. It's not about being the first. It's about being the person with the most hunger. The person who's willing to put in the work, regardless of the consequences, and understanding that even in the lows, we have to stay motivated, we have to stay hungry, we have to stay driven. And that's what I did. And I said, I'm going to become one of the best REO operators. And I did. And a lot of those REO operators also stayed too comfortable. When I started realizing the REO market was shifting, I doubled down on farming. I looked at the community that I wanted to farm and I said, who's dominating in there? What are they doing well? And what are they not doing well? And they said, well, this lady over here, she dominates. She's the person. You can't knock her off her throne. I said, then there can be two queens because I'm going to dominate this community too. And I'm going to do everything that they're not doing. I watched what they were doing and I watched what they weren't doing. And I doubled down on the things that they weren't doing. And the things that they were doing a little mediocre, I went harder, only to dominate, only to become the number one agent in that market, to where eventually she came to work for me. And we're going to get her. She's still going to end up coming to EXP, but she ended up working for me. We ended up dominating and we ended up building a legacy in that community and becoming one of the most successful agents and teams that has been in our market for over a decade, actually now 15 years in the running. My point with all of this, guys, is like, how bad do you want this? There is no excuse. It's a matter of learning new things. Like Ronnie was talking about, like your social media game. I don't want any excuses. If you want to dominate, you want to get started in YouTube, you got the playbook. Everybody talks about wanting to get into it, but very few are the ones willing to do the work, which is a blue ocean. It's a blue ocean for you guys right now. So my story began, from having moments, micro moments where I did the same thing. Again, I just went all in, all in, all in. Teams, when online lead gen, I was like, figured out the lead gen game, figured out the referral game, figured out that agents need accountability. I said, well, let me start this team thing. The only thing that existed before that was a theory. It was a theory of Gary Keller in the Red Book. No one really had mastered teams. We were all figuring it out 10 years ago. But it was the mistakes we made over and over and over again that now we have playbooks. Now we have true team playbooks that we can give you insight on. But I spent my first $283 on Zillow and making a choice. Do I pay groceries or do I pay for this lead source that I'm not telling you to go out and buy? But back then I made a choice. And I listened to someone who says, if you follow everything that I tell you, you're going to be able to have success. And I was so hungry and I was a student because I said, I want to learn how to leverage. I want to learn how to build the skill set of a leader. I want to be able to dominate. Give me 1 second because I want to make sure my computer doesn't die, which is about to die. And I want to make sure I don't leave you guys hanging. Give me 1 second, I promise.
God, I love this so far. This is crazy, like a movie I don't want to turn off. It's insane.
I'm back,
If the battery doesn't die, she's in.
I love it. No holds barred, no freaking excuses. It's reasons or results. You can't have both. And I love it, Veronica. Holy shit.
Sorry about that. I should have been better prepared with my charger here. But when we did the Zillow investment for the first time, I was just starting my team and I was like, before I used to give leads. I mean, I used to use voice. What was it? Goodness gracious, the writers that I had a little bit of tech. I even forgot what it was. I did Boomtown, I did Vulcan 7, and I was figuring all this stuff out. And when Zillow was, I was like, you're asking me to pay for leads? You're asking me to pay for leads? I was like, what is this? This is blasphemy. I don't do this. I'm a farming queen. And then I realized, wait a minute, if I could put $1 in and get $3 out, there's an equation, there's a math equation here. This just makes financial sense. And if I can build infrastructure around it and I can have really good team members and these team members are held accountable and we built some standards and we figure this out together and it's a partnership, we can grow. So I went from $283 to $800 to $3,000 to $8,000 to $10,000 to eventually $30,000. And it just made financial sense. And I wanted to make sure that they saw me everywhere. Omnipresence. It was land, air, sea, in their yard, in the restaurants, in the community, everywhere. And I figured out, what if I can leverage this portal to gain more market share and credibility? And that's what we did. That allowed me to build a team. And my baby team, which started, I would say, around 2013, 14, many iterations of it, many mistakes. And this is post the REO days, because I did have a team in the REO days. We've evolved, we've grown. And I will say it's created opportunities. And I know, again, some of the opportunities that I jump into are kind of risque and a lot of people like don't understand it, but it led us to help launch iBuyers, whether you love them or hate them. At the end of the day, I'm always curious about what consumers want. I'm always curious about technology. I'm always curious about what's changing in our industry. And I want to help pioneer change, because if it's not me, it's going to be someone else. And I just always knew I wanted to be a part of what was coming. And I wanted to be able to have a voice and to be able to give my feedback. That landed me on Zillow's advisory board. That landed me to be the agent that helped launch iBuyers. That landed us to become Inman Innovators of the Year, Inman Influencers, and just really open up other doors. Now I have big tech companies that come to us and they ask us to test their platform. They ask us to give us their feedback, and we decide if we want to be in business with them or not, if it's an alignment. But all of that to tell you that we went out there and we created our own opportunities, which is what you guys have the ability to do. You can't control interest rates. You can't control the market, but you can create your destiny. You can create your own market by the actions that you take. And that's what I've done throughout my career over and over and over again. And that is something that I'm extremely proud of. I was a Remax broker owner for almost 9 years. I sold my franchise to one of my top agents. When I saw the opportunity at EXP, I knew I wanted to be with this company. I was just in the golden handcuffs. I didn't know how I can get out. And I was offered a lot of money to go to other companies, but I was like, I don't want to play the short game. I want to play the long game. I want to be an owner. I want to grow this company. I want to be in business with my friends. I want to be in business with people that I like. You know, what good is it being on stage and doing all these things? And people were like, can I hire you? It felt like too transactional. I wanted to be in business with great people. And that's where EXP came along. And it took me 9 long months, almost 12 months to get out of my franchise and figure it out and sell my franchise to someone. I had to take a minute and think and pray to God and just say, God, if this is what you want for me, please show me the way. The answer was right in front of me. And it was actually one of my agents who said, why don't you sell it to so-and-so? She aspires to be a broker owner, and she wasn't meant to come to EXP with me. I had to make a sacrifice. So I took 17 of my team members. I left 12 in my brokerage. I gave her my best spot. I gave her my best location. I was willing to bet on me, my best spot that had walk-ins, my best spot that was in the heart of the community, in the office that I built that farming reputation, because I believed God had something bigger on the other side. Bigger than that zip code, bigger than I could ever imagine. And what God opened up for me was a global opportunity that today I now have partners, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Canada, South America, Italy, Dubai, India, and 2,300 partners all over, way bigger than that zip code could ever offer me. And zero regrets, because I believed that I was meant to do something bigger. And that everything I've worked for has led me to a stepping stone to create a life for myself, but for others that we deserve, that oftentimes we don't even understand what's possible. So I'm hoping that you guys can just tap into your superpower, or whatever it is that you're dreaming of, and that whatever it is that you believe you want to accomplish, whether it's becoming the agent that dominates in your market, or becoming that coach, or becoming that thought leader, or becoming that YouTube sensation, or becoming a speaker, whatever it is, a 1%er at EXP, that you want to be the next Mike Sherrard, you want to be the next, alpha in the company, or your goal this year is to become a beta, or to get in the top 50, right? That would be one of my goals right now. It's like, how do I get in the room? At the level that I'm at, I still look at the leaderboard. I'm like, where do we rank? What do we have to do? Why are we number, 12? But the reality is we've been number 1 for the last 2 years, and we know that there's more talent coming in. And I'm actually excited to not be number 1, because I get to learn from the new number 1s, and I get to be inspired by them. And I get to say, like, this is a company that continues to attract so many talented people. And I'm cheering for them because I'm selfishly also learning from them. And I'm excited to just be in the room with really smart people who, if I were to give you an example, Cliff Freeman, right? He inspires me so much. He makes over $6 million in revenue share, has an organization, almost 12,000 people, still runs his team, still runs his production team, still is farming, still is, proud of his box trucks, still putting out, newsletters, still out there, like in the trenches with the agents. That is who I aspire to be, right? Someone that still has a lot of grit and a lot of passion and a lot of desire to impact lives, but is still in the game of real estate every single day because this is what I made a commitment to do, when I quit my job in 2005. There's no plan B here. Zero plan B. Real estate is everything for me because I love it and I am passionate about it, and it's given me the ability to retire my parents, to buy a dream home in the Caribbean Ocean, overlooking the ocean, and I get to be friends next to my neighbors, Brent Gove and Gene Frederick, and some pretty cool people like that. When I go to them, they're just like us. Guys, they just want to make an impact. So that's kind of like a nutshell of my story. I know I was a little long-winded. As you can tell, I'm pretty passionate about real estate and what it's done for us. But Chris, I'll let you kind of take it from here. And what do you want? What do you want to hear? What do you want to know? And I'm an open book.
Oh my God, I love it. First off, I just love your tenacity and you're willing to not lose, essentially. I mean, there was zero option of you losing in any one of those stories that you mentioned there. And I feel like a lot of people go through situations where hardships, like single mothers or, family members that have kids. Obviously, that's one of the top, right? One of the top ones when you have to feed family and your family is relying on you. There is like zero plan B, only plan A, and we're going to hit it and hit it hard. Burn the boats. We heard that, Albie Stasic, love that on stage. Burn the boats. And you burned your boat, it sounds like 5 times. Like seriously, 5 times you burned your boat. And you made another boat and burned that one. It's just all in. I love it. So no, your story was amazing. It was very touching for me too. I feel like I'm in this season of my life personally where I feel like I have something better for me too. And God is leading me in a different direction. So open up for questions. Some people, we got about 15 minutes here. This is the time you have. Ronnie, go for it.
Thank you, Veronica, for empowering us today. You're frozen on my screen. You've been building teams for years, and probably based on what you've said, you studied other team leaders. And I wonder if you could share kind of what you've learned, in that process. If someone were starting a team, what would be 1 or 2 key things you would say to them in terms of things to do or things not to do?
Oh, I love this question. I think that, the evolution of teams, we're still at the inception of it. I think we're still learning. I think every day the industry is teaching us more and more about teams. I think teams will continue to dominate. I think teams will get stronger. And if you are thinking about a team, I'd love to share with you the mistakes I've made so that you don't have to make those mistakes. And some of those mistakes that I've made was at the beginning, it was lack of standards and lack of accountability. Although I had some, I was lenient in some areas. So the first thing I would say is know why you're starting a team. Okay. Know why you're starting a team. Is it because you want leverage? Is it because you're a rainmaker and you have so many leads that you just can't handle the volume? Is it because you want more time? Is it because you want to sell more homes? So first and foremost, ask yourself why you want to start a team. For me, it was, I had too many leads. And at this point I had 5 kids. It wasn't fun to go on vacation with me. It wasn't fun to go to a baseball game. It wasn't fun to go to dinner with me because I was such a determined and driven person, and I am still, that the phone would never stop ringing. And it got to a point where I didn't have enough hands and ears and nose and mouth to even have a conversation. So my family forced me to find leverage in my life. If not, I was going to pretty much be familyless. I was going to lose my family. So for me, I made it a mission to leverage myself, bless others with my business. And I said, also, I don't want anyone else to go through what I'm going through. So what if I could build a team that has processes that they can leverage, that will have the right support so that no mom has to miss a recital or a baseball game. No dad has to miss an important dinner or an important milestone, that as a team, we can back them up. As a team, we can provide resources so that they can have a great quality of life. Because what does it matter that we're successful in real estate, but our families hate us because we're not present? Our families going on vacation with us because we're really not present. That was one of the things that really inspired me to start a team, Ronnie. So I got crystal clear as to why I wanted to start it. Doesn't mean I didn't make mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. Then I was a little too lenient on certain things. And I realized having a strong foundation of your team, like what kind of team do you want? We were an online lead gen, high accountability. I was held accountability. And I was spending a lot of money. So my bank account at the time was my accountability. And I was, at the point spending, eventually I got to $30,000 a month, spending in lead sources. So I needed to make sure I had the return. So I had to have infrastructure around that. So ask yourself, what are you spending money on? What kind of accountability do you have? What kind of agent do you want to be in business with? How you onboard them will determine the success of your team. If you don't have a true onboarding process for your team, just be prepared for a lot of turnover and a lot of disappointment. We now have a very robust onboarding process for our team. It is a 0 to 90 days onboarding process, and it's everything that you can imagine you would want your agents to learn in the first 90 days. Everything from CRM management, mindset, how to role play, what conversations to have with a buyer, how to dial through the pond, understanding how to have tasks set up and what automations you should send out in your database, adding 25 new sphere leads to your database every week. It's important for us to do that in order for us to build sustainable careers and for agents who come on our team to understand that this is a true partnership. The number one mistake that I see team leaders do is that they think the agent is their customer when you should look at them as a partner. And in a partnership, if an agent says, why would I put my sphere in your database? But yet they want us to give them leads and they want us to put them in front of relationships. That doesn't seem like it's a true partnership. That seems like it's a gimme, gimme, gimme. But when I have to give to you, it doesn't seem like it's equitable or fair. So I believe in true partnerships. Agents on our team, it is across the board. They're expected to contribute to our database. They're expected to contribute to our success. They're expected to contribute to the culture. I have an agent advisory board on my team. I have agents who help us test things. I have agents, the ability for them to unlock new tiers and lead sources. We have a required point system. In order for them to unlock lead sources, they have to meet their point system requirements. And that's just basically making their calls in the database, showing up to our team meetings, showing up to the morning huddles, showing up to their coaching sessions, doing the things that they're supposed to do, not having overdue tasks, because I have partnerships that I have to answer to. So I want partners that are going to value those partnerships and not make me look bad. And my partnerships are my clients and also the big conglomerates that I work with. Another thing that I think is important is that we forget where the value of the partnership really comes in. It is my job to coach agents and facilitate an environment for them to thrive. And I don't know if I'm able to share my screen, but I want to share an image that I think is very powerful that you guys can.
If you hit that present now button, the arrow up in the little box at the bottom, Veronica, click that, and you can share either a screenshot or your whole entire page.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's see. Let me make this bigger. So this way I don't scare you guys with my fonts. With my screen, because I have a bunch of tabs open in my head forever. All right, can you see that?
Yes.
Not yet.
Can't share your screen. Google might have screen recording permission.
Present now and pick a tab or a screen or a window. Should be able to.
Let's see. Yeah, it's not allowing me to, but I'll send you. Actually, Chris, if you want, I can text it to you and then you could present it.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I can send this over to you.
Let's see.
I think I have you somewhere.
Let's see. If not, I'll take you my cell phone number real quick here in the chat box.
Yeah, I want to share this with you guys.
Does someone coach you on your team? Do you have a coach that's focused on team building?
Yes, I do have multiple coaches. I have John Cheplack is my coach. He's one of the best coaches. And by the way, right now, John has an amazing offer going out right now to teams that are looking to scale and improve their leadership. John is one of the best coaches, in my opinion, in the entire country when it comes to teams. And he partnered with Success Coaching. And you can actually do I believe it's a 12-week coaching session with him for $299. It's unheard of. That email should have gone out. If you guys haven't seen it, I would check my email. Chris, let me know if you got that.
Yep. Yes, I did.
I don't know if you could put that up on the screen so that they can see.
407 area code, right?
Yep. John
Okay, I got
Cheplack
your
is one of the
five.
best coaches. He's a huge leadership coach. I would highly recommend that you guys look out for that email. It is something that by far is a deal that I don't even pay him that little bit. Like my hourly rate that I pay him is a lot more than that. So I'm like, you guys should jump on that. I also coach with I have two other coaches. One is for operations, and then the other is my profitability coaches. My profitability coaches are my place partners, and that's extremely important for me because I'm looking to expand across the country. We're opening up teams all over the country now that are going to pretty much adopt our brand, adopt our accountability and our standards. Chris, let me know when you get that up, if you can get it up.
I got it. Let's see, right here. Let's see.
So I think it's really important as a team leader. And I know that was Ronnie's question, and I hope that this brings you value, even if you aren't a team leader or aspiring team leader. It's extremely important that you understand truly what our responsibilities are as a team, as an agent in general, right? So if you look at this is our lead gen wheel. This is something that right now, even if you aren't a team leader, even if you aren't going to build a team, this is how you should look at your business. How do you have your pie broken down? You have your sphere business that you can control, sphere, open houses, and your prospecting, and you have your business that is additional business for people who don't know you yet, but are going to get to know you, and what falls in the flywheel, what falls into that category. And we've broken this down into different segments. And let's start on the left side of the wheel, the one that you can control, your sphere. What are the things that you could do to maximize your past client relationships? What are your auto plans? What are your client events? What are your marketing reports that you're doing? Your social media, a wealth series where you're teaching consumers on how to build wealth, maybe perhaps how to become, investors, how to tap into their equity and what to do with that equity once they do have to perhaps extract additional transactions with that client where they can maybe buy their first investment home or buy their vacation home. Your admin and your support team, right? Are they helping you generate business? Because your admin and support team should bring you additional business. Closing gifts, seasonal items of value, monthly newsletters, SOI certification, meaning that you certify your agents that they know how to love on your past clients. Video scripts and editing, accountability and marketing. So these are your sphere, right? And then if we look at open houses, what are the things that you could do to really maximize your open houses? How many signs do you put out for every single listing? What ads do you run for every single open house? How do you market it on social media? What type of posts do you do? What type of agents do you have in your database as well that you share that with? Like, do you have this broken down so in depth that you're like, I have a strategy, even if it was the left side of the wheel? What is your plan for your open houses? What are the post follow-up for the open houses? What are you doing to maximize every opportunity as a real estate expert? And that is what we need to change. We need to stop praying for the business and we need to start controlling our destiny, right? Prospecting, scripts. So if you're building a team, Ronnie, the dialogue is this: look, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you build a business that is sustainable. Now, you can unlock additional lead sources on the right side of the wheel, but what I want to do is first help you make sure that you are extracting everything that is within your control as your coach, as your leader, and by doing all these things on the left side of the wheel, you're going to unlock additional business opportunities on our team that will then put you in a tier that you'll probably have 4 to 5 closings a month. What would 4 to 5 closings a month look like for you? Right? What would that do for your life? What would that do for your business if you had multiple streams of lead generation tools, right? But what if I told you that you have multiple in your current world today? You're just not extracting them, right? And if we start changing the conversation as you're building your team, Ronnie, and you make it about a team that is of high accountability, of standards, of prospecting, and not just a gimme, take, but a true partnership. And you could say, hey, by the way, we actually help you grow your business by giving you the support staff so that you can focus on the things that are important to you. Prospecting. You don't have to worry about scheduling inspections. You don't have to worry about scheduling appraisals. We take that off your plate. You don't have to, worry about ordering your signs. We take that off your plate. We take off so many things off your plate so that you can focus on the things you can control and the things that are your highest per $8 productive activities, right? These are the things that we have in place. We've got the auto plans. You don't have to worry about figuring it out. We figured it out for you, right? Now let's go on the right side of the wheel. What does this look like for you? Well, I want to help you become a more well-rounded expert. And this is where it gets sexy. This is the icing on the cake. This is the extra business that people who know you today usually are going to do business with you because they know, like, and trust you. This is a know, like, and trust you type of business. Would you agree? But what if we can have additional people get to know you, fall in love with you, trust you because of what we offer as a team, because of what we've invested as a team? This is where it gets really fun because eventually these people also will become your sphere. They will become additional referral sources. This is what we do. I think as a team leader, if you can master this and you can take people down a journey of how much you are going to invest in their business and their career and coach them and guide them and lead them, you can dominate as a team leader and you will have agents flocking to your team to want to join your team because they do not know how to break it down like this. They don't. You name me one agent who knows how to break this down as a solo agent and who is crushing it without any support. I literally will do like this to them because it is hard. It's hard to balance it all. So as a team, we can provide additional resources and coach our agents. It's not to say that a solo agent can't dominate areas of this flywheel, but for them to do it all alone and still maximize, it's a little challenging. So Ronnie, I hope that helps you kind of cast a vision. A, it's an onboarding process. B, standards and accountability, a tight team agreement that basically really shares with them what you're trying to build, have real clear values, and then have a plan on executing production and holding them to a high standard.
That's crazy awesome. Ooh. I'll post that too, by the way. I'll add that into the team classroom. I'll share a screen and for you guys to have later on too. That's amazing.
Thank you for that, Veronica. That was awesome. The one question it brings up for me, so you've gone through this incredible journey. I've enjoyed seeing you on the stage at the events and all the inspiration you pour into the whole big group of thousands of people. How do you take it step by step, eating the elephant one bite at a time when you're a small team like I am, 4 people, and you don't have all those resources, all those systems in place? So from the place where I am, that's not a pitch I could make. But how, what's your, I guess, advice? Because you traveled that whole road, right? You're much further down the road. So I just wonder if you had any final thoughts on that.
You just said it. One bite at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time, having grace with yourself, not being afraid to have a BHAG, right? That big, hairy, audacious goal, but understanding that it's baby steps, right? It's micro wins. It's mini micro wins, right? And if we can break this down into 90-day wins, right? Daily wins and weekly wins, man, we can look back and be like, look at everything I accomplished. So I would say, what are those top 3 things that you want to accomplish this quarter? Maybe it's getting that YouTube channel started, right? And just pressing play and just saying, oh, that was a horrible video, but it was a start. And then it's like, this week, I'm going to knock out 4 videos of communities, and I'm going to, just get better every single day. One is going to be community. One's going to be interviewing a business owner. One's going to be doing this, right? And just saying, how can I measure a win? What would be a win? It's not the closings. It's not the big team. It's the steps we take to develop ourselves as leaders and building that character. And sometimes you have to be like, I'm spending time on stuff that really doesn't fulfill me. It's not moving the needle. I'm not enjoying it. I'm going to take it off my list. That's okay too. Reevaluating what you're doing and understanding that maybe it's not moving in the direction that you want. But I would say each and every one of you, micro wins, small wins that you can measure that are bite size. So many times we want to just go from here to here without everything in the middle is really where the real win is. The outcome is just the result of all of our micro wins.
Love it.
All of our micro wins is really what gets us to the end result. So if it's starting a team, if it's starting your YouTube channel, if it's, farming an area, if it's calling your first recruit, right? Every single part of this journey starts with a decision, a choice, and then the first step. And then once you take the first step, then you take the next step. And on the days that you don't want to take those steps, that's the day you have to take the step. And if you were at Build, I shared the story of the 2 explorers who went out in 1911 to conquer the South Pole. And there's the story of one team, and I don't know his name off the top of my head. I should know it. Anderson. And then the other team was Team Scott. One team only moved when the weather was great, the terrain was smooth, and it was easy to move. And they would go and they'd go far as they could. But when the weather got bad, they'd retreat. They had all these fancy gadgets. They had all this technology. They had everything in their favor. But what they didn't have is they didn't have a cohesive team. They didn't have a mindset of consistency, even on the hard days. And they only wanted to move when it was easy. The other team made it a commitment. Every single day, they would move 20 miles, no matter what the weather was, no matter how difficult the terrain was. And they would hold each other accountable, and they would learn each other's trades, and they would learn each other's skill set from each other, and they would hold each other up, and they would push each other, and they would make it a point to get those 20 miles in, regardless of how bad it was. The team that won was a team that never stopped moving, even on the bad days. The other team, with all their gadgets, with all their technology, without all their mindset and infrastructure of only moving when it's good, every single one of them died. And there have been case studies on this. And if you read the book, Great by Choice by Jim Collins, it actually, it does a case study on this and other businesses. But it's such a remarkable story. Who are you going to be during this challenging time? The one that only moves when it's easy, or the one that moves regardless of the terrain and the challenging times? I want to be the latter of the two.
Ditto. Challenging times. Take it every day. That's the best growth ever. Veronica, this is amazing. Oh my God. This was like, I was telling everybody, it's like a movie that I don't want to turn off. This is a movie I just want to keep playing because it's so inspiring to everybody. I hope this is of value to you guys today. And again, this is an opportunity why it's so important to go to the events like EXPCon and the shareholders and builds, because you get to sit and have coffee with Veronica and hear the story and everything else. And she's very insightful. So don't take those events for granted. Yes. Does it cost money? Sure. But talk about that. How much money you invest yourself to go to these events to sit and have coffee with her? Do you think it'd be worth your time, energy, and effort in your business? Absolutely. It would pay for itself. You'd come back charged up, ready to go and blow any storm out of the water. So Veronica, thank you very much. We're blessed to have you. I know you have a very busy schedule, so we're grateful to have you. Thank you. This is recorded, so it'll be for everybody on the Team Freedom page. But man, I look forward to seeing you at EXPCon in October. And again, thanks so much. We're blessed to have you. But I want to honor the hour. We're about 6 minutes over, so I want to make sure everybody has their time very connected. So, and then you, especially you, Veronica. So thank you again. Grateful. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Share the recording with me, Chris.
I will do. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a wonderful day. And see you guys all next week. And EXP Explain on Thursday, by the way. Every Thursday, you guys there, plug in. So I'll see you guys again. Have crush the week. Love you all.